Well, despite economic challenges, credit ratings agency Standard & Poor's considers the Bahamas to be stable on the economic front. The ratings are used to gauge the credit worthiness of countries, and it has a major impact on borrowing. Here's Janaea Noel Ferguson.
Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis says a stable economic credit rating for the Bahamas is recognition that the Bahamas government has fared well in managing the country's finances, despite lingering concerns, he said, that the Bahamas could face another downgrade. As a potential major player in the Bahamian economy, the Bahama resort remains unopened.
Certain things happen that don't go our way, or there are drastic developments that are negative for us, then it affects us. But I think the important thing is, the country has been almost waiting with bated breath for this report. And, many anticipated a downgrade. And I think the fact that the rating is affirmed, that has not been downgraded, I think that's excellent news. It should build confidence, and it should serve as an affirmation of the government's program of reform. It's working. It's being recognized externally that it's working. And so any of the people who had doubts about what the government is doing in terms of the public finances should be reassured.
While the credit rating comes as good news for the CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, Edison Sumner, he says we must not continue to make the mistake of putting all of our eggs in one basket, as was done with the Bahama project.
We should never have placed so much emphasis on a single project for the country. Having said that, though, we do understand the importance of Bahama to the economy, right? Not as the single sole provider, but it certainly has an impact on the economy, as we've seen. I mean, almost over 2,000 jobs made redundant, a huge resort closed. There was a lot of opportunity and possibilities there.
And as the former developer Sarkis Ismailian makes a push to reclaim the resort, Sumner is hopeful that he will be successful.
He knows where the bones are buried. He knows where all the details are. He has access to the people that he would have dealt with before. And we were very close to getting that resort opened. And while I understand that there may be other potential buyers out there and interested parties out there, I think that if you want to get a short line to getting that project redeveloped and getting it back on track, you have to engage the developer.
Would you be pushing or supporting that move with him?
I am neither pushing nor supporting it. All I'm saying is that I think if the government wants to get it on track quickly, they have to engage him.
Sumner warns, however, that if and when the resort opens, it won't solve the financial challenges that the country faces.
We have to examine what all went wrong to get us to the point where we were. And that has to be a discussion, very frank discussion, that has to be had between the former developer, the bank, and the government. And there has to be very clear, very frank discussions about what led to all of those acrimonious exchanges and what led to the development being brought to a halt when it was brought to a halt. And you have to have that discussion, right? And it has to be very honest and frank discussion. Otherwise, we're going to be bouncing around the same circle for the next 2 or 3 years.
Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.